What's going on, Libra? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you're having an excellent month so far. You ready, Libra? But for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just wonderful, Libra. And it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Higher Self has brought you here. I tell you, since I've been getting over sidebar Libra, I was getting over a cold, and ever since then, like that little extra thing, I'm just like, my vocal tricks and inflections are not quite there yet, but appreciate you having me for those you new Librans here as well. And let me tell you why this is gonna be such a special spread. Well, it is celestial. Let me just get to it, Libra. News monthly. See, that's what happens when I go off script, thinking I'll be able to get back on track, and, segue real smoothly. It's fine. But with this monthly spread, whenever you happen to come across this video, there may be some messages in here for you. Oh, wait, no. With this monthly spread, whenever the sun moves into a new sign, I'm like on autopilot. When the sun moves into a new sign, we're going to talk about where the planets are at and how we can work with the energies. I'm going to get in sorts in a second, Libra. I just got from my side gig. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one. So take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me, and never force reading on a situation, okay? So with all that word salad being said there, Libra, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. I'm gonna lower this a little bit, Libra. There we go. Crystals, feeling lovely. Just wonderful energy all around here. Now I have Zodiac Oracle cards with the signs that the sun and the planets are in. I'm going to pull an Oracle card from this deck for each one of them, and then we'll get some details with the tarot. But before we jump into this thing, Libra, these readings that I do, they're not gender-specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations, okay? And in case if y'all were curious, the decks that I'm working with, I've included links for them down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested. But also down below some links for some other readers that are like watching their Libra, so go check them out, Libra. They're fantastic. I want to say one of them has a Libra rising. But then there's also some links for some astrologers that are like watching as well. So if you want a little more information on top of what you get from Celestial News Monthly, though, it's nice to have a few perspectives on what's going on with the planets. Check them out. And then I'll be including some more resources for like, I'm gonna start including like a few podcasts and like some other like books and things that I like working with Libra. So I'll start including that stuff up and keep you kind of posted as I start adding stuff there. But before we get into this big old extravaganza that Aquarius is throwing, I do want to talk about a big event that's happening on the day of their birthday season. But it's going to be like right before the sun enters. Because you have a Sun-Pluto conjunction. And conjunctions, depending on the degree of the orbs that you use, it's usually between it's usually when planets are within 0 to 3 degrees of each other. It's the strongest blend it's like strongest blend of energies when it comes to aspects. But this one is special because not only is it happening on the last degree of Capricorn, which is the 29th degree, known as the anaretic degree, which is can be a point of like crisis or culmination where themes of the sign are kind of felt more urgently. It's also happening on the 59th minute. So this is like literally the last breath, the final. I feel like the last sentence is even saying a lot. It's like the last word of the Capricorn season before things kind of end off there. And I feel that that's going to be very interesting time for the Soul Tribe, because when the sun is conjunct Pluto, Pluto brings up things from the depths and puts all of the he brings all these like dark stuff up, and so that, you know, to our face, so that we can face them in order to transform, you know. But we do have to go through, trudge through all the stuff that Pluto does present us in order to get to that state of growth. And now I feel like with that, any sort of like last remaining kind of Capricorn things, you know, we might notice some things that get revealed, even, you know, with like governments or maybe corporations, things along those lines, just big corporations. So who knows how that may look like on that scale. But on a like more kind of personal level, this can lead to significant personal growth, but it is usually through like intense and kind of challenging experiences again, because Pluto, when he comes through and does stuff, he means business. And this is probably going to be especially potent for you if you have any Libra placements towards that 29th degree, or even if you have any early degrees in Libra, because he's been going back and forth between Aquarius and Capricorn since back in May, when he first, or excuse me, back in March. Yeah, I want to say March, when he first entered into Aquarius. So, because I have a Gemini moon, and I on the 0 degree, and I've definitely been noticing that. I haven't, not anything super big since when he went direct, that was a hot mess, but that's fine. But yeah, you might be feeling that even more intensely, so that's something to look out for. But you may also find yourself kind of confronting power issues, control dynamics, or any sort of deep-seated fears. So yeah, Pluto's, yeah, but once that stuff gets brought up, it's just like, what do you want to do with that? So just something to pay attention to there, Libra. I feel like that's going to be, the 20th is going to be a big, you know, mark that on your calendar. That's a big day to kind of look out for. But let's talk about this big old shindig that Aquarius is throwing in their sign, because you got the sun that's entering, you have Mercury's going to be entering, your ruler, Venus, the Empress, is going to be entering a little bit later, Mars is going to be entering in there, and then, of course, aforementioned Pluto. So you see, it's going to be a wild time in Aquarius. But let's start with the sun, because the sun's going to be entering in Aquarius at 9:07 a.m., and that'll be Eastern time, and will be there through the 18th of February. And with this, you may notice, Libra, that you feel more inclined to express your unique qualities and may seek more independence in your personal life, because Aquarius, they love their uniqueness and they love that sense of freedom. They don't want to feel shackled down or anything along those lines. So this is time to just kind of let your freak flag fly. Well, that kind of ties in nicely with where your ruler is kind of going as well. But yeah, this is a time to be, you know, really kind of embody your authentic self there. And it's just like Aquarius energy is like, it is this individuality, but it's just like, how do you as an individual contribute to the soul tribe as a whole? You know, what are you doing to for the betterment of humanity? But also there could be a focus on like social causes, community involvement, and connecting with like-minded individuals or groups, considering too that Aquarius is about networking, friendships, groups, things like that. But also on a larger scale, we might see more surges in movements for like social change, technological advancements, and innovative solutions to, you know, for global issues. So going to be a very innovative, kind of expansive type of time here that's going to be happening in Aquarius. So then you have Mercury, that's going to be entering on the 5th of February at about 12:10 a.m. And this is a dope place for Mercury to be, because they're exalted in Aquarius. They operate very well, considering Aquarius is a very intellectual, very intelligent sign. So this is generally a good time for just, you know, just more kind of open-mindedness and intellectual inspiration. It's particularly in areas that involve the collective well-being, technology, innovative problem solving. So yeah, good time to just kind of get together, exchange some ideas, see where that takes you there, Libra. Excuse me. Now I'll talk about your ruler in the next energy, because she hasn't quite gotten through to Capricorn yet. So yeah, I'll talk about her next. But Mars is going to be entering in Aquarius on the 13th of February at about 1:05 a.m. And this inspires, you know, Mars is our action, in our drive, you know, what pushes us into action. So you may notice that I feel like with Mars being in Aquarius, he does take on this more, of course, that intellectual kind of flavor there. So I feel this could be a great energy, Libra, if you're a fan of debating or just like really just kind of like that exchange of ideas, those kind of like hot debates. I feel like that's a great energy for Mars in Aquarius. But also, this inspires kind of innovative and unconventional approaches to achieving your goals. So maybe if you've been kind of stuck at something, you might get one of those just like kind of like light bulb moments, and just like, oh, you know what? I never thought to try this, instead of like just keep like, chipping at the wall here. Why don't I just jump over it, or maybe dig under it, or maybe just build a ladder? Whatever that's looking like. But also, there's a strong desire for more personal freedom and independence in actions. And also, you may notice, Libra, that you may feel a little more resistant to control, or feel more inclined to challenge authority. So that's something to be mindful of as well. And then last one is Pluto. And Pluto's going to enter into Aquarius at about 7:56 p.m. And this is such a big deal, and while you'll hear a lot of people really kind of focusing on this energy, is because Pluto doesn't move that often. Pluto can take anywhere from like 15 to 30 years to move through a zodiac sign at a time. And that's why it's such a big deal when these outer planets move. So, because when you even think in your natal chart, they're all like Jupiter on down, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. You'll see that you'll share a lot of those aspects or a lot of those signs in common with those who you may have grown up with. But now that Pluto is getting ready to move, and it takes him about 240 years to complete his round around the zodiacal wheel. So, but this transit may bring about significant changes to social structures and collective ideals, and it's going to lead to a rise in new social movements and a redefinition of societal norms. I've been I've been getting this feeling, just kind of like just sort of unrest here as of late. I feel that the soul tribe is shifting in a way where I do feel like there's a there's a there's a I feel we're how do I want to put this? It feels like people are tired of kind of like settling for things. You know how when you say like, "Oh, well, this is just how it is," and it just is what it is, and it's just like, "Oh, really? Is that what we're gonna do?" Well, I feel like there's gonna be more of a challenge for that now. So I think that's gonna be an interesting time for us collectively there, Libra, but also the technology aspect of it, major advancements definitely happening. I was talking with actually my ride back from my side gig. One of my Lyft driver was saying, we were sitting in traffic for a little bit, and they were just like, "Oh, well, we gotta, hopefully have flying cars here soon." I was like, you know what? You don't remember this conversation that we had in this car? Because I was like, most likely, wouldn't be surprised. I'd be surprised if that's the only thing we do with cars. If they're not cooking for us by the end of this 20 years, we gotta step it up there, Libra. So it's just something, and not just you. I mean, but just like, I mean, unless if you've got like that, Libra, yeah, don't hide the blueprints. But just something to think about there, Libra. And this is going to be a great time for the air signs as well, because considering, or depending on where your Libra placements are at, this is going to be forming a trine with your sign. And trines are very fast moving energies. They remove blockages out of your way. They can be potentially very lucky energies. Just depends on how the energies translate and how they relate to your chart, of course. But yeah, it can be a very fast moving, kind of growing type of energy there for you, Libra. So work with this air energy that we're getting ready to get into. I feel like things are really going to start advancing for you there. But let's go ahead and get into your first card here. Ooh, interesting, Libra. So you have the memory card here. And for some, I'm getting this energy of, it's this ancestral energy that's kind of coming through there. Maybe for some, we're thinking about just seeing how they have these pictures here of like what could be, who knows who this family members are, but maybe for some we might be thinking about maybe like I'm getting like ancestors in a sense. Like maybe for some we're thinking about like, maybe like transition like loved ones or family members, things along those lines, and just sort of feeling in that nostalgic type of place. And maybe we've been wondering if, wondering if not even wondering if they're with us, but kind of like that sort of like wishing they were with you in a sense. And there might be this energy of wanting to reconnect with your lineage, possibly learning a little bit more about your roots, possibly see if maybe we can find any sort of like old pictures, maybe any sort of like mementos, little trinkets and things, some sort of like heirlooms, things along those lines, to maybe kind of feel a bit more connected in that sense there, Libra. Maybe we might look into seeing, maybe working with someone who can, maybe like a psychic or maybe a medium who might be able to even commune with the with spirits and things. I was just talking with a Scorpio about that not too long ago, and I feel, what, that's a great sign to hit up if you want something like that down there, Libra. But yeah, that's just one energy that I'm kind of getting through there. Maybe exploring that, maybe even doing like a 23andMe or Ancestry.com or something along those lines. But, Libra, just on a little bit of different scale there with that memory, maybe for some, because this is definitely giving me like a Six of Cups type of energy there. I just feel like maybe for some we might even, with all of this futuristic talk with Aquarius, that the energy that they bring, so looking to the future and how this world is so ever evolving, maybe for some we're just like wanting to cling to the past in a sense, wanting to relive the good old days, maybe start listening to more. I tell you what, I've been on a big old kind of like, I guess they're calling them, we're calling them throwbacks, but I've been listening to a lot of. I'm a '90s early '90s baby, and maybe we've been kind of bumping to the jams or something along those lines. And I feel like if you've been having troubles, maybe adapting to where things are at, or I feel like maybe there's this trouble with this maybe integrating where things are going. It's just like, what can we do to make it more familiar in a sense? And Libra, if that's something that's resonating with you, listen. I would say that I definitely have some Luddite tendencies sometimes, but I'm getting better. You're working with these internets and technology, all of internets and technology and things along those lines. But if that's something that you're struggling with, I feel like just kind of ease yourself into that. No one expects you. I feel like people who get, I feel like it's important to keep up with the times. You don't have to lose yourself in that stuff. You can find the state of balance, but I do feel like there is going to be a need to kind of stay up to date with where things are going, because things are just going to keep evolving there. And I know that acceptance can be hard with all the things that change. It's like, I've always done it this way, why change it? But just I feel like it's something to just play around, explore, and see how things what conveniences it can bring up for you, and how it can make your life easier for you. But yeah, I've been working. Yeah, just some things to look into there, Libra. But let me get some tarot on this and get some details. All right, Libra. Okay. Let's see what's going on here. Ooh, I was actually just thinking about this card today. How love when Spirit does that. So, excuse me. So Libra, you have the Seven of Swords, the King of Wands, the Hierophant, and then the Lovers in reverse. And then you have the Ten of Wands upright. Where do I start? Well, let's start with this Hierophant since I was thinking about him. Taurus energy, and the Lovers is Gemini energy, but with the Hierophant, I feel that for some that this is because the Hierophant can be very traditional, very old school in the way that they operate in things, and I feel especially if it's just something where you were resonating with that, sort of having trouble embracing where the future is going. It doesn't have to just be with like technology or anything. This could be any sort of aspect, maybe with how the dating scene is, or maybe with how it is to go about finding employment, or any sort of things, making friends, or I feel like that it is where it may not be. Because I feel the Hierophant is one where we just want to be careful about letting that that traditional way of thinking hinder you. Where we're not able to take effective actions there, and where I feel like it almost even limits your options in a sense here with the Lovers here. And I feel like for some it's just like maybe we're choosing to, and this could even be too, Libra, even just thinking with this memory card here, maybe for some we maybe even kind of like might be holding on to a past situation that may have transpired. Maybe this is something like an argument that maybe we had with someone, or maybe we are using the past as a way to escape there. We've kind of built our own maybe little like kind of time capsule there, and now I feel like the Seven of Swords there is asking you to kind of face the truth there and kind of see how maybe this way of thinking, or how staying stuck in the past like that has maybe burdened you. Ooh, look at that thumbs down, Libra. That wasn't intentional, but and that was aggressive. But maybe how this Ten of Wands has, or how that energy has maybe burdened you, even in a sense, have just like kind of added this weight. And I feel like it is asking ourselves, one, why are we clinging to that? What is the attachment there? And then what can we do? What do we need to do in order to let that thing go? It's not that we're, especially if this is like some, how do I want to put this? The past does have its place, always, unless my sun signs in Cancer. We're associated with the past and ancestry and things. So listen, I would never dismiss the past, but we utilize the past for the lessons to guide us in the present, to reshape or to shape the future that we want to have. So I feel like it's more effectively calling on these memories. Calling those times when you do need to feel good, when we're feeling low, feeling a little down, a little disheartened about where things are going, but knowing that you can get through whatever these challenges are that may be coming your way there, Libra. And again, kind of like freeing yourself up here and allowing your King of Wands there, your energies to just flow freely there, and just to pursue new, figure out what is going to be the new game plan going forward with this future, because we can only stay in the past for so long, Libra. So just, and if this is someone that we may be dealing with, Libra, that's the thing too. We can always give our advice, as far as like what we feel people, may want to consider doing, but we can't force anyone to do anything, Libra. If someone wants to live in the past, then such is their right. But maybe we can try to just be just like, well, hey, if you ever, when we get out of this funk, know that I'm here for you. But it's not your, and then I don't feel like it's coming from a lack of compassion. It's just sort of just like, well, we're choosing to stay stuck. So I'm gonna let you process that, and then when the energies are moving forward there, bet I'll be right there to answer that door. But just a little something to think about there, Libra. I think I'm gonna leave that there. So Nice little start there. Little nostalgia. Now, let's talk about Capricorn. Because your ruler, the Empress, Venus, she'll be moving into Capricorn on the 23rd of January at about 3:50 a.m. And with this is the Empress in her business dress there, Libra. You might be feeling a little bit more reserved there and taking your relationships more seriously. Because Capricorn, excuse me, Capricorn is one that does they're very similar to Scorpio. I feel like in that aspect, as far as like they are not a really big fan of like superficial type of things. If they're going to invest in something, it's going to be something that's going to have that longevity. For that's going to have that endurance. And so you may notice that you're seeking more stable and kind of long-term commitments than short-term flings, and I mean in just in love, in relationships, all of that. This, or even in excuse me, in business, whatever that may be looking like there for you, Libra. But also, this is a very strong financial placement and resourceful placement for the Empress to be as well, because the Empress is a builder. She's, one of the signs she rules alongside yourself is Taurus. Excuse me, Libra. Hold on, let me pause for 1 second. I'm going to grab some water. All right, Libra, we're back. But, yeah, this is a great... Yeah, but Taurus is... Or where was I at? Security, Taurus. It's great builders, great as far as the great manifestors, building things for long term there. And so this could be great for financial matters and focusing on savings, investing wisely, and making more financially sound decisions. Maybe we're looking in for an expert, whatever that may be looking like, Libra. So definitely work with that energy there. And then Venus is going to move into Aquarius on the 16th of February at about 11:05 a.m. And now she's going from her getting from her business professional there, taking ditching the business suit, and now she's throwing on some parachute pants, a groovy top, and she's rocking a what is she rocking? She's rocking some sort of groovy hairstyle. I'm gonna go. I think I forgot who else I told this to, but she's rocking an afro right now. For some reason, I got the Empress in like the 70s. But this is more thinking about the future there, Libra, because Venus in Aquarius really impacts our aesthetic preferences, and we can tend to take a liking towards more sort of unique, avant-garde, and kind of futuristic styles, whether it comes to fashion, art, music. So this could be, Libra, if you happen to work with music or art or something. Maybe you're playing around with your different styles, or maybe in different genres of music, or maybe with different mediums of art, or whatever that may be, working with different materials when it comes to your fashion, whatever that may be looking like there, Libra. And also, you may see an increased engagement in online, digital, or long distance relationships. Excuse me. So, this can be one where the very great networking type of energy, reaching out there for maybe that business or that financial advisor, possibly, or even just making different friends, or maybe even forming different connections, maybe for business, or however that might be looking. So something to think about there, Libra. And while Venus is in Capricorn, though, depending on where your Libra placements are at, this is going to be forming a square with your sign. And squares can bring about challenges, delays, things along those lines. It can be kind of a tougher energy sometimes, but squares kind of squares force us to, there's like a situation that forces us to kind of take a new action there, to needing to, they keep us adaptable. It's almost like a mix, almost like of Mars and Uranus type of energy, in a sense. It's like something suddenly happens and it's just like, oh, we need to shift gears here. Oh, okay, let's think about it this way. Like, let's say something goes on, well, knock on wood, let's say we have something that happens with the car, and you need to take it in the shop for however long. And it's figuring out, it's like, okay, do I take public transportation? Do I have public transportation around me? Do we take a lift? If there's like a work thing that we need to think about, am I carpooling? What does that all look like? So it just keeps us adaptable with these squares, even though they can be a bit tougher, but it is one that overall does get, we do can get to that win, but it just requires a bit more effort than, like, let's say like a trine energy would be there, Libra. But let's go ahead and get your next oracle card here. Make sure you're speaking of all this while I'm getting over this stuff here. Make sure that you stay hydrated there, Libra, and stay rested, take care of yourself there. But let's talk about your next card, because you have the Align card here. And I feel that this card is kind of asking you if there are any things that do feel out of whack there, Libra. Maybe you've noticed that you've been feeling maybe a little more anxious as of late, and maybe been having trouble sleeping, or maybe it's just like the energies in the body haven't been feeling correct, or maybe something's been off, maybe emotionally, or maybe we're feeling something spiritually, maybe feeling disconnected there. And it's just like, what practices or or things that we can do in order to get to back to this sense of alignment. And it's just, and I feel like it's making sure to just kind of tune into the body there, Libra, and make sure that we are aware of when maybe when our body has, and that's been a big one for me there too, there, Libra. But making sure that we are just making sure where our body is at, just kind of mind, body, and spirit, just kind of really doing just like a check-in over this month. I mean, and just in general, just even just getting into that practice, and that's something that you do regularly there, Libra. Just making sure that we're function well. But I am also getting to, as far as like when it comes to like your calling, is what I'm getting as well with this Align card. Is the thing that you're doing, is the thing, or are the things that you're doing in your life aligning with who you really are? As far as, and this can be a number of things, not even just like for, like, let's say like a job or a career or something like that. It's just like, how's are the things that we're eating, do they align with us? Or even some of the stuff that maybe are we thinking, or maybe notice that we might have gotten in sort of like a, this is an, I always thought this was kind of an odd term, but like almost like a herd mentality, or how are we sort of just kind of like following the pack there. So that might even be, I feel like, something too to kind of look into there, Libra, because the trickiness with your energy is the sun does start to fall in your, once it gets to your sign. Since you are a sign of relationships, Leo is definitely more about self, and being sort of more just like kind of, what's the word I want to use, more like they're about like self-expression, and this like kind of real individual kind of shining bright type of energy there. So, and considering that you are associated relationships, sometimes you can lose yourself in a relationship, when whatever that may be looking like there. So just making sure that the things that you're doing and following, saying, eating, activities just align with you there, Libra, and we're not trying to be something that we're not. So, or more so kind of force ourselves to be this certain image when it may not resonate true with you. Oh, and there's wifey. Interesting. And there's that sun we were talking about. Thank you. Love that, Libra. Oh, and the Six of Cups. Okay. Alright. So, Libra, you have the Page of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands in reverse. And then you have the Ten of Pentacles, the Six of Cups, and the Sun card up right here. And with the Six of Cups being here, I feel that for some, and that's even interesting too, that Libra download that is sort of, that just came through, is I feel maybe for some we may be trying to almost like either it's like be how we were in the past, or like recreate something of how we used, of how like of just like I feel like trying to be like maybe this older version of ourselves, one that like I just keep getting this sort of just like this, like not blast from the past, but like it's this wanting things to be like a certain type of way, or wanting things to go back to the way they were. But I feel that they can't be that way again. Like it's like people change, people evolve, and even the your environment and situations do their change their leave. And I like with the Six of Cups, because it's about, I feel, creating new memories. You can still be those energies. You can, and you never really stop being that. That is part of your foundation here, with the Ten of Pentacles. But I feel that there is something newer that you want to add. You want to be a more improved version of yourselves there, Libra. And I feel for some, we may be like limiting ourselves as far as just like opportunities for whatever this may be looking like, meeting new friends or traveling to different places, or it's almost giving you even like an Eight of Swords vibe, just kind of like pigeonholing ourselves in a sense. And but that's one energy that's coming through there. But I feel that there is too, Libra, the things with the Ten of Pentacles, this can be like our legacy. And it's just like, with what you're doing right now, what does that legacy look like? What sort of impact do you want to leave on this world? How do you want to leave this place brighter than when you came in there, Libra? In what ways can you shine? And it doesn't matter how big or how small, Libra, but I do feel like it is something that we do want it to be ours. It's something that you truly want to be passionate about, not something that we're like forcing ourselves to be, or the Queen of Wands is even giving me this sort of like imposter syndrome in a sense, like like, well, not even imposter syndrome, but because it's like this recreating something, trying to. I just heard that there was like, what is that, a new Mean Girls movie or something like that, and it's just like, well, I'm sure that's something fantastic. It's just like, why are we creating these older things? Like I was like, I feel like it's just like, have we run out of just like fresh new ideas there? That's kind of what I feel like this Queen of Wands is giving. There's a need for something new, something fresh, something more. Take that Mean Girls energy, but apply it to some, do something. This, I don't know, just like do something different with it. So I hope that analogy makes sense. But but yeah, Libra, and you know what? If we're if we're not sure as far as like just what sort of impact or what sort of legacy that we want to have, or maybe we're not sure what we're excited about, or what we want to start up, or where to even start at, that's a great energy to just kind of sit with yourself, do some meditation, connect with source. Because even like the Lovers can be like your higher self winking at you for me. And so maybe we need to just kind of sit down and reconnect with ourselves, ask ourselves these questions there. Because the Hierophant too, he's a bridge between the heavenly world and the physical world. And I feel that if we were to, once we connect with source like that, then we can kind of and then really listen there, Libra, once the energies come through, and they're just sort of like, well, what does that mean for you? Just really kind of processing that and make sure that things just align with who you are and where your spirits are trying to, or where your soul is wanting to go there, Libra. So it's something to think about. Very interesting reading, Libra. Let's get a little more water there and let's talk about Taurus. Because you have Big Papa, Jupiter, that's kicking it in Taurus, and then you have Uranus. And Uranus is actually getting ready to go direct there, Libra, at the end of the month, depending on when you're watching this, on the 27th of January. So I feel like once Uranus wakes up, there's going to be definitely, because it's the energies have been a little quiet there, but now things are going to start picking back up again, start shaking things up. So, and that's not to get you scared, that's just to get you pumped up and get you thinking about where these energies are getting ready to transition to next. But excuse me, with Jupiter in Taurus, Jupiter will be there until the 25th of May. And with this, I like this placement for Jupiter, because this is just like, how can we take the abundance that Jupiter gives us all of the time, and how do we extend that out for the long term? And Taurus kind of slows the energies down a little bit, so it can feel that stuff. It might be the energy is being slower, but it's just to help build a really kind of sturdy foundation. It is very Ten of Pentacles, I feel, with Jupiter being in Taurus, thinking about that long game when it comes to stuff. But with this energy can bring about an emphasis in growth and expansion in practical areas, particularly those related to material resources, physical comforts, any sort of areas that you're wanting a little more security in there, Libra. And also, this is a favorable time for financial planning, investing in long-term assets, and also to just enjoying the beauty of our world there, Libra. Because Taurus can be associated with the environment as well. So, making sure, just getting out inside or getting outside, and that could be a great energy or a great way to just kind of realign with yourself there, getting out in nature as weather permitting, or maybe getting by some water, or maybe even bringing some nature into your space, something for you to take care of, a little house friend there, someone to kind of greet you there, maybe sit there with your daily cup of coffee, whatever that's looking like, Libra. And then you have Uranus. And yeah, Uranus has been in Taurus since about 2018. Yeah, about 2018. And this is I feel like been a tough energy for kind of Taurus to handle, just because Uranus does bring about changes in he brings about changes, and not just for the sake of change. He does so for the sake of for us to stay innovative. He breaks down these outdated things and kind of forces or ways where we may have restricted ourselves in some sort of way, and it kind of frees us up for a little bit. But first we have to break that foundation a little bit, and that Taurus energy doesn't care for that shaking up of things. And it's been a wild one with Uranus being in Taurus so far, and we're still going to see these kind of drastic changes sort of coming through there. But again, he's just wanting to get us to plan ahead, to be adaptable, and to adjust with where the times are moving. And things are moving in a different direction there, Libra. I feel like people are becoming more entrepreneurial and becoming less reliant on, let's say, kind of bigger corporations. And even with like food and things, with the prices going the way that they are, maybe we've been thinking about starting our own type of garden there, maybe growing our own herbs and fruits and veggies, things along those lines, and maybe even just investing in food, or investing in more kind of bulk things like rice and beans and things along those lines. So but with this, there could be a collective shift too, a more kind of collective shifts towards what is valued materially, and challenging traditional views of possessions and of wealth. And this could also lead to significant advances or changes in agriculture, environmental practices, and how we interact with our earth. So this, what ways can we go about reducing our carbon footprint there, making it more of a point to be extra diligent about recycling, and maybe making it a point to compost, or maybe we're doing volunteering for like community cleanups. I remember there was this guy that I wonder if he still does this now, but where my folks live, there's this guy that would run around they kind of live out towards the, kind of in the boondocks a little bit, but if he would run around, and on his runs he'd have one of those like trash pickers, and he'd take a bag with him and just kind of pick up the litter along the way on his runs. And so maybe we're doing something like that there, Libra. But just little different things to kind of help kind of keep our planet healthy. And since she gives so much for us, I feel like just any little ways to kind of help give back, I feel the earth definitely does appreciate. But and you're just beautifying things up there, Libra, cleaning up that trash. But let's get an oracle on this. All right, Libra, absolutely protect our earth. But you got the protect card here, Libra. And absolutely, I do agree with that. Protect the earth. But he is our home base for this journey. But also, I do feel that this is one too, especially when we're talking about with that it's like, are the things we're doing aligning with us? Making sure to protect your energies, and that we're not just kind of caught up in some sort of echo chamber, or just like following like maybe just like the latest trend, or what everybody else is doing. What is it that you want to do, and not worrying about what other people think about that. And just really being your unique self. That's all this Aquarius energy. That's prime energy for that right now. And people, I feel like, will definitely appreciate that, Libra. And I feel too it is paying attention to how others do influence you there, Libra. Because it's a little different than, because we're all can be susceptible to the energies of those around us. But I'm usually telling like the water signs, because I don't know if I mentioned my sun signs and can't. Oh yeah, I think I did. But also, you have, I would always tell the water signs that. But I feel like you and Aquarius are ones too that you want to make sure to protect your enemy, or your enemies, protect your energies, and watch out for your enemies, maybe because they I do feel like that there's that potential to, in order to please someone, we might do something that's like, and I don't feel like anything like shady or anything, but like more so kind of compromise who we are in order to please each other or please another in whatever relationship that might look like. So you're just making sure, like, when you're getting back from, taking some time to just be with yourself, and to just understand your needs and your wants, your desires, and things along those lines, and protect what is sacred to you there, Libra. So and I'm even feeling this energy of, for some, it's just like we may even be trying to protect a certain memory of something or someone, possibly even here. So that's just an energy that's coming through there, Libra. But let me get some. So yeah, take that as it resonates. And but let me get some tarot on this, Libra. speaking of Cancer, you have the Chariot card here, the Ten of Swords, and the Nine of Cups in reverse. And then you have the King of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles upright here. And I feel with this here, Libra, especially if this has something to do with, as far as like protecting your energies from someone. If you've noticed that a certain relationship, in love, friends, work, is slowing you down, is just dragging you in there, Libra, and just really affecting your vibrations, preventing you from getting to where you really want. Maybe they're even trying to utilize your resources in a way and I don't just mean just your money, I mean like your time, your energy, things along those lines. The King of Cups is a very, very great example of healthy boundaries. He has a love. He loves everybody. He does. He is, for me, this is Pisces energy, and he does. He has a very deep love, but he understands that about himself, and he knows that he's the type, I feel like, that will give you a hug but also keeps you at arm's length. It's just like, oh, it's really great to see you, blah 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 blah, but yeah, let's also stay here, like it's, like we're not crossing any lines here, Libra. So I feel that's I feel like maybe for some we're learning how to, maybe learning how, from maybe like a past experience here, we might be healing from something with the Ten of Swords, where maybe we felt taken advantage of, or maybe felt betrayed, or maybe felt, yeah, just whatever this might be looking. And I feel too, Libra, those memories of those situations that may have happened, I do feel like it is remembering to where, again, we don't want to get stuck in the past, but I do feel like remembering that even if a situation had been a little tougher there with this Ten of Swords in reverse, that you did learn something from it. And this taught you this discernment. It taught you different resources, Queen of Pentacles, as far as like how to guard your energies more, how to pay attention to different signs, pay attention to not just what people are saying, but pay attention to their actions and things along those lines. So, And I feel too, Libra, if there's something that because the Nine of Cups can be this wish that you want to receive there, and it's like it's being in that vibration of what you want there in order to get to that wish. But I feel for some there's this energy of protecting something that, I feel like maybe there was a memory where we wanted to be something, but life got in the way, and then we had to like maybe let that thing to the side, or for some reason had to let that go. Maybe we used to play, we used to be amazing guitarists, but then got married and then couldn't go on the tours anymore, or whatever that may look like, and just kind of hung things up and just sort of just sort of gave it all up. And I feel that for some there is a revitalization of a certain maybe like hobby or certain career path that you may have wanted to take in possibly, and maybe pursuing that again, maybe getting that back on the road, or getting that back in track, or maybe even applying it into a different sort of fashion there. Who knows what that might be looking like. Maybe instead of, if we're not playing concerts, let's say, maybe going on tour things, maybe we do something for the neighborhood, maybe going out, sitting out on the porch there, playing a little guitar or whatever that's looking like, the little neighborhood music, give the people something to kind of dance, maybe throwing a block party there, Libra. I'm with it. So just a little something, a little extra there, Libra. But I think I'm gonna move on from that. So, alrighty. Now let's talk about this last energy here, Libra, which is Pisces, because you have Saturn in Pisces, and then you have Neptune in Pisces. Now, Saturn is going to be in Pisces until May 2025. Yeah, until May. Yeah, we'll just say yeah till May 2025. But this Saturn gets a bit of a bad rep because yeah, granted he could be a bit of a hard ass, but he really wants the best for us. He wants us to where'd the sun go? He wants us to shine bright there, Libra. This is where'd that go? But he wants us to live to our highest truth there. He doesn't want just the memory of something, like, well, why can't we align with that? Saturn really pushes us. He's rewards just as abundantly as Jupiter, but he does have requirements in order to unlock that abundance. But when you go through that work there, Libra, there's something definitely more satisfying when you kind of can look at your Ten of Pentacles and say, like, yeah, I built that. I put the initiative towards that. I put my heart, my soul, my everything into this, and this is what I have to show for that, and I'm proud of that. And as opposed to just like Jupiter, where he's just like, here, abundance. But with Saturn being in Pisces, I feel this is a really great energy for us to really kind of channel our intuitive energies, because it's a period for grounding dreams and spiritual insights, and learning more kind of important emotional and spiritual lessons as well, and learning how to responsibly navigate the more sort of ethereal and mystical realms of this life there, understanding yourself as in a divine energy, going through this human experiences and tapping into this, connecting to source and that universal oneness psychic energy that Pisces has, and learning to train that. What does intuition look like for you? Do you do your best work through maybe tarot, or do you do it through scrying? Is it through Reiki? Is it through maybe it's communing with spirits, however that might be looking, is learning this deeper, more kind of mystical side of yourself there, Libra, and dipping into more of this kind of spiritual energy there. And then you couple that with Neptune, who's going to be in Pisces until March 2025. And with this, we won't see Neptune in Pisces again. And that's why I feel like this last, I want to say she entered in like 2012. And there has been a lot of spiritual shifts since she has been in her home sign, because she's the modern ruler of Pisces and Jupiter's the traditional ruler. But with Neptune getting ready to finish up her time in Pisces, this is really a great time. One, if you have any sort of like artistic things that you want to do, Libra, do it. You are a very creative sign. Venus is about creating beauty. She is not just being, I tell you this all the time, Libra, and you're not, yes, you're beautiful, but it's also about creating more beauty in the world and sharing that with the world, and expanding on that. So absolutely, if you have anything that you want to do, any arts that you want to share, any books, any sort of comics, whatever that's looking like, absolutely, Libra. And this really does favor time for introspection, exploring the spiritual realm. And it's just really just a profound spiritual and emotional shift, both personal and just collective. Like, even the conversations that we're having now are having this more touch of spirituality and this more heightened sense of awareness of something larger than ourselves there, and something, there's like more magic, I feel, is being this more accepted, is not becoming this sort of like, it's not this taboo or this evil type of things there, because anything can be misused there, Libra. It's just a matter of intention. I feel like nothing is really good or bad. It really is just it's this human experience concept. So, but the trickiness with this energy is that there's been, you have to be careful about the navigating between reality and illusion, because Neptune does dissolve boundaries and can make things a little murky, a little hazy sometimes. So just something to think about there, Libra. But let's get your last oracle card here. Oh. Oh, interesting, Libra. Look at you. Absolutely being mutable. Because you have the shapeshift card here. And I feel this shapeshift is more so how you're changing, Libra, in what ways, and in thinking about, I feel like even when it comes like down to this memory up until now, it's just like thinking about where you've were at, and then where you're at now, and what ways you've grown and what ways you've evolved, and where do you see yourself going next. Maybe for some, we're thinking about changing up our, maybe literally changing up our physical appearance possibly there, or maybe we're thinking about shifting into a new career, maybe shifting, or but I do feel like overall this energy is giving more of a, definitely that mutable energy of needing to be adaptable with the times, because it's just like as we get, the energies change, it's just like how are we changing as well, because that is, what the one constant in this realm is that change is always going to happen and is never going to stop. And just, it's whether we choose to grow with it or not really is the question there, Libra. So very interesting. But let me get your last tarot cards here. Oh, I love that. I love when the Sun and Leo come out with the Strength card here. Thank you. So you have the Strength card. You have Mars, the Tower here. Ooh, change is the one. I thank you, Spirit. I love when they do that. Then you have change, the Death card here, Scorpio energy, and then you have the Ace of Swords and the Four of Cups here, Libra. And then let's switch back over. And so, especially when you start getting combinations, because the Tower Mars is the traditional ruler of Scorpio, and I feel this combination is about, it's how are we changing, and what, because when we think about the Death card, it's like something, in a sense, a part of us does kind of die each day, but it's more so that it's a sense of that a cycle is closing out. And I feel like that's not, it's to have the courage, I feel like, to face these changes there, Libra. And it's just like, what new insights, what clarities or new ideas even come up for you in this change. And this Four of Cups energy, though, it's giving me this feeling of not really caring for where maybe things are going, or just really having troubles, maybe just more so kind of focus on, again, like what was, as opposed to with this bird here kind of shining, like what could be, in a sense. And I feel the universe is kind of asking you with this energy, almost just like, what are you changing into? In what ways are you evolving? How are certain, as you begin to learn different things, experience different perspectives, things along those lines, how that does change for you, in a sense, and I feel, Libra, if we're not mindful, and again, it's not to scare you or anything, but with the Tower, I feel usually when it comes to Tower situations, I like to feel that higher self wants to keep that, and like your spirit guides wants to keep that all internal. You feel that something is off there, so it's like, oh, okay, what actions do I need to take in order to do that? But if we resist this change, then that's when the universe kind of comes in. It's just like, all right, well, You know, you want to be stagnant, I got to give it just like a little push, just the slightest push there, and it's just like, are we gonna push back, or are we gonna, in a sense, surrender, but not give up, but more so like surrender to, like, give up that resistance and go through this change in order to develop more resilience to the changes that do come your way there, Libra. Because again, the change isn't gonna stop. It's like it's energies are gonna keep moving, sun's gonna keep rising, and it's just like, what are we gonna do with that energy? And that is a lot of energy to just like resist all this stuff. It's exhausting. So I do feel that there is this new you that's coming to leave, and embrace this future with this confidence that you got this. And we may not maybe sure how you got, or you're gonna get it, but you got it all the same. So just a little something I feel like to just consider there, Libra, this energies. But I think I'm gonna leave that there. I like that, Libra. That was a dope little reading. But if anything resonated with you, if you like that, Libra, give it a thumbs up. And share this, Libra, if you know someone who's been maybe clinging to the past, or not aligning with who they really are, having troubles with boundaries, troubles with change, whatever that may be looking like, Libra. And then subscribe there, you son. Hit that bell button to get notified of these videos each week. And then last little bit, you're getting the hottest ticket to come over to my other channel. Not that you need it, but if you have any Cancer in your placements there, Libra, sun, moon, rising, come on over to the chariot, friends. I do videos Monday through Friday there. I discuss lunar shenanigans and do tarot card readings based off where the moon's at, as far as like what sign she's in, what phase she's in, and when she's going void, of course. So definitely check that out, Libra, if you're curious about that. That's why I normally don't cover any sort of like moon things over here, just because she moves so fast, and yeah, two, if you really want to kind of like just sort of like where she's at and just want to check in with that, Libra, definitely check that out. So I feel like Libra and Cancer's king, I feel like they can get along. I was actually just kicking it with the Libra today, and all that housekeeping is down in the description box below. But let me get your surprise cards here, so I can get you out of here, Libra. And got the Nine of Wands here. And I feel with this that maybe we've been feeling a little beat up with where the changes have been going. Maybe things have been really tough here. Tough, Libra. With where the energies have been advancing. And, the nice thing about this, with Pluto moving out of Capricorn, pretty much, again, unless we have some Libra placements at that last degree, that Pluto would have been forming squares with your Libra placements since 2008, and that's a lot to have that Pluto with having that difficult kind of forcing change to happen for you there, putting you in different situations to have to take different advances. So now I feel like we're gonna be like, it's gonna be less push on you and can feel a little bit lighter there, Libra. So I feel like this is an energy of making sure to manage our energies, making sure to take rest, even with that protection, but when we're feeling kind of burnt out, kind of frazzled and things. But also remembering that these changes in things, they do bring about this sense of resilience and growth. So just something to ponder there, Libra. But let me get your other oracle card here, so I can get you out of here. Okay. Alright, so you have the Storyteller card, Libra. And this is a card of viewpoints and control. And be mindful of the stories, especially your thoughts, Libra. Particularly being an air sign, but you just be mindful of where the stories that we are telling ourselves, or that others may be telling us too there, Libra. and paying attention to how those stories and viewpoints can control the decisions that we make or don't make, and the actions that we take or don't take, and what are some things that we may have been excuse me, things that we may have been clinging on to, or been very dogmatic about, and maybe a little rigid. And it's just like, how can we maybe shift up things a little bit, kind of broaden the story, some kind of see things from a different point of view there. So, ooh. All right, Libra, but I think I'm gonna leave that there. Little something to consider. But you stay safe out there. You're getting stuck in the past, and with these changes and things, just mind your energies there, Libra, and raise your vibration through the roof. Because that is a lot, again, with all these changes that are happening and things. But it's meant to be it's an exciting time, I feel, overall. And again, there's always going to be challenges that come through there, Libra, but we're all going through this together there. We're a soul tribe, Libra, so always remember that. And I will catch you on the next one. Later.